Okay then, I'm in a bit of a hurry. I've put my dinner in the oven. Dinner. A little story from today. I have dozens of conversations every day. They tend to be mundane, oh it's raining, oh it's windy, whatever. Today I had an interesting conversation. It actually fits with some of the things we've been talking about between us. I realised when I left work that I'd got nothing to eat tonight, and you don't get to look like this with nothing to eat. So I went to a supermarket. It's a supermarket that I actually don't like, but it's on my way home, and I went there. Anyway, I found myself standing in the queue at the checkout. You've all been to these checkouts, there's people who are paid not enough to live on, who sit there all day taking hold of your loaf and squeezing it and running it over a laser reader and crushing your bag of crisps. And behind me was a lady, very tiny, short lady, considerably older than me, 20 years. Now, a convention in supermarkets is you put all your bits on the conveyor belt and then you take the thing that you put behind your bits that says next customer please. And I did this for the behind my pie. Pies are round, they're not square. And there was this elderly lady, and she said, thank you, she said, and she put her 2 bananas and a bunch of grapes and I don't know, whatever she had. And there was something about her accent. I didn't pay any great attention to it. And then I put one of the things behind her shopping, and she said, thank you very much. And we stood there, and someone tried to squeeze past and had said excuse me to me, and I squeezed up a little bit, and we looked at the old lady, and she was in a world of her own. She was standing there with a smile, and this person said, can I squeeze past? And she said, I'm sorry, she said, I'm miles away. And I looked at her and I said, were you in your happy place? Silly thing to say, little thing. My happy place probably was from when I was 4. My grandmother's house and garden perhaps, or Sherlock Row near Reading. Beautiful place. When I was 4, the sun always shone, it was always warm, you could always play in the garden, and it was safe and it was peaceful and it was lovely. And this lady said, I don't know where I was. And I looked at her and I said, where is your accent from? She said, well, where do you think it's from? And I said, Germany. And she said yes. She said, I have lived here 60 years, but people still hear my accent. So I looked at her and I said, where were you born? Now, that's a bit of a personal question, and you might say I've got no right asking strange elderly or lovely, delightful, short elderly ladies where they were born. And she said, Hamburg. Hamburg. I never call it Hamburg. I always call it Hamburg. Hamburg, where hamburgers don't come from Hamburg. She said Hamburg. And we chatted briefly about how long she'd lived in England and she'd lived in Australia, and she'd gone back to Germany, but she didn't really like northern Germany because it's cold. She said, even at this time of year, it is cold in Hamburg. Well, that was that. I then suffered the indignity of my loaf being squeezed, and I paid my money, and I left the elderly lady to have her bananas crushed by the banana crusher that charges you in such shops. And as I left the shop, I thought my happy place was when I was 4. In England, a peaceful time, a happy time. Where was that lady's happy place when she was 4? When she was 4, 5, 3 possibly, she was living in Hamburg. In 1943, Englishmen, Australians, New Zealanders, British people went to Hamburg and bombed it. And not just British Commonwealth people, but Americans from the US 8th Army Air Force that in those days was all over England. And we bombed Hamburg. We incinerated 43,000 people. When you're standing in the queue in the supermarket and there's an elderly lady standing behind you, treat her with respect, treat her with love if you will, because you don't know where she has been. And her life seems happy now. She was a very happy, smiling, peaceful person. But just think the difference between her 4th birthday and my 4th birthday. So there we are. That was me today buying food which is in the oven. It's about time I went and got it out and ate it. Otherwise I won't fill this jumper up anymore. Guten Abend.